scaring nobody. They call it like they see it without fear or favor. And the words today, people are grabbing dictionaries left, right, and center. Zombification, what was the other thing? Prebendalism. Goodness. So, tweets coming in very thick, very fast. Brian Ayako, he says, gentlemen, does Uhuru Kenyatta deserve a second term? Dr. PLO.
There was a time when I held the view that President Kenyatta ought to be given another opportunity. The answer to that question is the next 2 years are critical. If he fights corruption with determination and dedication and attends to the economy properly and ensures that his government is all-inclusive, then he will deserve another term. But if his fight against corruption is not sustained, if his government is not inclusive, if the economy does not grow, then many Kenyans of goodwill will ask, does he deserve another term?
Barrack, at the same time, when you see a headline this past week saying already 2017 is a two-horse race, I mean, come on, what does that mean? Are they just selling papers, or is that the feeling on the ground?
I think the media should also refrain from limiting the choices of the nation. Look, there are 40 plus million Kenyan citizens, and a very significant portion of these are mature, they are capable of competing for political office, they can form political parties, political movements, and they can compete for power. I think the media should refrain from trying to limit our focus and trying to train our eyes into some narrow space. Perhaps sometimes even as a journalist and as a trainer of journalists, I start wondering about our own probity. What is the prompting? What is pushing us? What fuel are we using to start creating those kinds of limiting notions and images? Because I know, and every photojournalist, every cameraman knows, these camera people here know, that the sharpness of the image is because you have blurred the background. It doesn't mean that there are no other images within the background. And I think that it's very important that from time to time we train our cameras to the background and see who else is there. Because these things are also about positioning. And this positioning is also very worrying from another perspective, that it's choreographed. And apart from the choreography, it is informed of hostility, mutual belligerence, mutual suspicion, and mutual fear. And there are fears which sometimes start playing out in a very volatile manner, and which should worry us as we move towards 2017.
Tweets coming in thick and fast. I didn't mention it at the top of this break, but the Twitter handles are at it's PLO Lumumba, at Barrack M, at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is State of the Nation, and I'm happy to announce that PLO Lumumba in the last 50 minutes has more than 400 followers. Already. 50 minutes.
Yes.
Good grief.
It doesn't happen.
You can't make this stuff up.
No.
That is very good. I thank those individuals.
You know they're going to be following you throughout PLO because we need your voice. Huh? Well done. Also, moving forward, PLO, I mean, it's been an incredible year, very dizzying year. And already, here we are at the end of it already. I mean, December just came by just like that. Going forward.
Moving forward, if I was President Kenyatta, because he's the president of this country, I would do a number of things. First of all, I would de-escalate the clamor for partisan constitutional change. How would I do it? I would invite the opposition and tell them, I know you have something called Okoa Kenya. My people also have something, Boresha Katiba, there is Pesa Mashinani. Let us sit down together and determine whether we want to amend the constitution so that we work on it from a bipartisan approach. That is the first thing I would do. I would also look at my country and do a Magufuli and tell the country that we want a lean, mean government. This is not the time to expand government. Do a Magufuli, walk around the country and demonstrate by word and deed that you want to lead from the front. I would also ensure that in terms of dealing with national cohesion, I would come out and demonstrate that this country belongs to all Kenyans, and I would jettison a number of individuals around me who are in the forefront of fueling corruption. And if he does that and does that with dedication and ensures that this country moves in the right trajectory, then President Kenyatta will be a leader worth his salt.
PLO, you've spent time in Tanzania. You just mentioned Magufuli. Is this man the real deal?
Magufuli is the real deal. And I can assure you that the spirit of Mwalimu Nyerere is alive and well in Magufuli. And those who think that this is just the momentum out of the election will be shocked. This is the gentleman who, in the next 10 years, is going to provide moral and political leadership in the East African region. I'm not a Jewish prophet nor related to one, but watch this space.
PLO, the man cancelled Independence Day celebrations. He cancelled them. He said, use the money and go and clean your neighborhoods.
As it should be.
Barrack, I mean, this guy...
Well, because sometimes we ask ourselves, well, what are we celebrating? Are we sometimes saluting failure? Are we saluting corruption? We come there and flatter ourselves with the belief that we have done very well with the statistics and so on. And most of the time, what we are really celebrating is the opportunity to run ourselves down, that our destiny was placed in our hands and we were allowed to do howsoever we may wish to do with ourselves. So without belittling the significance of that day, because independence is also very important, self-determination is also very important, one needs to point out that this is a different way of marking and celebrating that great day. But, you know, if you think about the billions of shillings that we use, flying in people, flying out people, throwing big bashes, jamborees that we call celebrations, and you ask yourself, what are we celebrating? If you ask me, as somebody who grew up in this town of Nairobi and went to school here, I know I've also told you I went to school in Emanyudia, which is true, but I also went to school here in Ofafa Jericho. Yes.
You did?
Yes, indeed, here in Eastlands, in Ofafa Jericho, and this man was my neighbor. He hasn't told
When
you
you are
about
St.
that.
Mary's.
And you are you're on the other side. You're on the wrong side of town.
Wrong side of the tracks.
Yes. I can tell you that there was more to celebrate in this country in the 1970s than there is to celebrate today. That we had a functional public transport system in Nairobi here, for example. We had a functional garbage collection system in this city, that we had paved walkways on the roadsides, leading even to our own homes in Eastlands, that they were paved, and that we had good lawns which were mowed every day by the City Council of Nairobi. We had treated water which we drank straight from the tap, cupping in our palms. That there was more to celebrate at that time than there is to celebrate now. I know in the next 10 days, it's going to be our turn again to unrealistic statistics and say we have achieved this, we have achieved that, we have achieved something else. And we know that in real terms, we have very little to celebrate.
You agree, PLO?
I agree. I agree. You know, on the 12th day of December, and that is a great day in the history of this nation, there is a sense in which the president will read your typical speeches. There'll be pomp and circumstance and the accompanying razzmatazz. But the truth is, in real terms, is it not the time to take stock? We have been a thieving nation with the devolved corruption in the last 2.5 years. If we could do a Magufuli and say this time round, what we are going to do, some will say it is copycat, but what is wrong with copying a good thing? If we could say this time round what we are going to do, there'll be no activity at Nyayo Stadium or Uhuru Park. We are simply going to go to the villages. Those of us who are in Nairobi, we go back to Eastlands, go back to Kawangware, go back to Mukuru Kwanjenga, go back to Mukuru Kayaba, those in Nakuru and Eldoret and different parts of the country, and we plant trees during this El Nino, and we ensure that this country is newly re-energized come 2016. That would be a better way of saving the 100 million plus that the bureaucrats will want us to consume on the 12th day of December.
Absolutely, and at the same time, just ask yourself, what would Magufuli do? Can we ever get a Magufuli here, PLO Barrack? Is it possible? I mean, is that wishful thinking? Is that a pipe dream?
The electoral process before Barrack butts in, as presently constituted, where people are mobilized on the basis of ethnicity, where people are mobilized on the basis of corruption and bribery, where we have the same people who are moving from one party to the other and claiming that they are our saviors.
And they just change in the morning.
Absolutely. Where you have the Pharaoh claiming that he is Moses simply because he has a rod and staff in his hand. Where the monkeys are the same and the forests change. If we continue on that trajectory, Kenya will never have a Magufuli moment, which then calls into question, you Kenyans, wherever you are, you've got to ensure that when the elections are called, you vote individuals on the basis of the programs that they promise in education, in health, and in agriculture. Don't vote people because they come from your ethnic group. They don't help you when the chips are down. Yeah. When that happens, and I pray and hope that it will happen in the lifetime of many Kenyans, then Kenya will be the great country that it ought to be. But when I look at 2017, holding all factors constant, oh God, save Kenya.
That's deep, that's deep. But at the same time, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere must be smiling wherever he is. He's smiling.
Yeah, he started off his country on the right footing. Remember that at the start of this show, we spoke of the philosophy, we spoke of the purpose, we spoke of the architecture, we spoke of the design of the state. And Mwalimu Julius Nyerere was thinking about a state that was going to be enabling the citizens to fulfill themselves and to have a wholesome life. He was thinking about a state in which everybody would be proud to be Tanzanian. Professor Ali Mazrui, God rest his soul in eternal peace, came up with this notion of what he called Tanzaphilia, from Tanzania and philia, love, the love that the Tanzanians feel towards their country, the love that they feel towards edified, dignified, and leadership that has got probity. Unlike what we have here. Somebody steals, we know very well this is a thief. You know, a thief is a thief. Even if he puts on a three-piece suit with a fourth piece in the pocket, like this one here,
yes, and
he's a thief, he is still a thief. Even if he stays in the most leafy suburb, drives the latest state-of-the-art custom-made limousines, he is still a thief. We celebrate those kinds of people. In Tanzania, they would never do that. We need to get to a point where we actually find thieves repulsive. That yes, you may come here with all those things, and we must tell you, like Ben Mtobwa of Tanzania has said, pesa zako zinanuka. And before we have that, our pesa zako zinanuka moment, we're never going to have a Magufuli, and the architects of our independence are never going to smile wherever they are, like Mwalimu Julius Nyerere is doing.
Absolutely. PLO, someone is asking on Twitter, what advice would you give to the incoming EACC team once vetted?
My view is that EACC is just but a peg in a space where there are many pegs. My view is that they must not have any illusions. There's not going to be a big bang solution, but they must play their part. They have a statute, they have the United Nations Convention. Play your part and be prepared for only one thing: insults, condemnation, and abuse. But do that which is good and right. As long as you are at peace with your conscience, you go out there and do it, remembering that there is a critical mass of Kenyans who think that you have a role to play. Don't be afraid. You'll be threatened on a daily basis. The newspapers will insult you on a daily basis. Kenyans will want you to solve the problem of corruption, yet they encourage the corrupt. When they come to Integrity House, they sing their praise songs, yet when they go back home, they say you have not succeeded in fighting corruption. Do that which is good and right, knowing that those who do good are condemned during their lifetime. They are only remembered when they are dead.
There you go. Well put, well put. Esquire on Twitter says, panel should comment on the Eurobond saga. Recently, Treasury Secretary Henry Rotich has asked former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, who has been very vocal in saying that Eurobond money has been stolen, has been used, has disappeared. He told him, come to my office, I'll show you proof. What do you think, Barrack?
I think Raila Odinga should have taken up that opportunity and gone. And you see, for me, when I hear Raila Odinga, I don't think about that individual whom we call Raila Odinga, because Raila Odinga is something of an institution. The same way we hear of someone like Kofi Annan coming here or going wherever, he doesn't materialize in that place as an individual. He comes as an institution with his accountants, or with his lawyers and other people who have got different roles to play in that team. And he's not going there to accept what is being told. He's going there to hear. We say in Emmanuel that a man might refuse that for which he has been called, but he never refuses to be called. So he should have gone there. And I think that invite is still open. He should go there, not with that crowd that is going to cause fracas and stampede in the streets.
Yeah.
But a dignified team, he should go there, listen to Rotich, take documents, and say, okay, these are the documents you have given us. We are going to subject them to further interrogation. And then bring in other documents from other places, place the two together, juxtapose them, and reach some kind of conclusion. I think he has denied himself the opportunity to gather evidence.
Yeah. How would you say that in Emmanuel-esque? Just mundo kumundu, I mean, how would you say?
Kato mundo humundo.
Rusom Bayene is the Eritrean ambassador to Kenya. Good friend of mine. He's watching you all on TV. He says, great job. You guys are fantastic. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you very much,
so
Your
much.
Excellency.
Thank you, Excellency.
Gentlemen, 2 minutes. We're going to wind up before I give you more gifts, as we always do.
Yeah,
and by the way, let me give you the gifts first, and then you can wind
Yeah,
up.
that
Last
is
time you had
great.
T-shirts, right?
Yes.
PLO, how about a mug?
A mug, for me who takes porridge, this is very good.
Is that okay?
But there is a sense in which your image is quite prominent in my porridge.
Image is prominent in my porridge.
It's a good image. I don't mind it. I don't mind it in my porridge at all.
Well done, gentlemen.
Asante sana.
And because I gave you T-shirts last time, we just thought, out of the blue, we're going to give T-shirts to 2 viewers. Random.
Good.
Random viewers. So if I look on Twitter and I randomify this, like zombify, random, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I just tried it. Joseph Mwinzi, first one. Joseph, you get a T-shirt, and you can just get in touch. Either come here tomorrow to the Intercont, or get in touch with us. We'll get you a T-shirt. And to be gender sensitive,
Yes.
we must.
It's very important.
Cynthia Nyongesa, you also get a T-shirt right here, JKL. Both of you are Team JKL.
I hope Cynthia is not in Lodwar so that she travels to get the T-shirt here.
It's worth traveling to take.
And by the way, that cameraman there, his name is Nyongesa. Nyongesa, any relation? Are you sure? Pasaris? Or no, I'm kidding. Final thoughts. Barrack, you go first.
Final thoughts as we get to the closing of the year. There are certain responsibilities, even as citizens, that we need to pay attention to. That it's that season of feasting, it's that season of enjoying ourselves and being generally happy. I think we should do so in a manner that is mindful of ourselves and of other people as well. We don't want to hear those same stories about accidents here, accidents there, people dying, and so on and so forth. And then going forth, going back to where we have been, His Excellency the President, you've done a good thing, good gesture, but we must go beyond gestures, we must go beyond cosmetics, we must go beyond window dressing, we must start doing things that convince Kenyans that we are building a nation and institutions that we shall be proud to bequeath our children and our children's children. And you know, I'm a grandfather now.
You are?
Yes, I became a grandfather on the 27th of this month, the same day the Pope was leaving this country. So
You are
when
in a
you
different
see
league
me,
now.
You're talking to an elder. Yeah? And you are coming.
It's no longer, it's no longer mundo kumundo.
Oh, bueno, we are elders. Bueno.
What? Dr. PLO, final thoughts.
Final thoughts, fellow Kenyans, this is our country. Let us protect and preserve it. I hope and pray that our president will lead from the front. Mr. President, you've taken the first step in what is going to be a long journey of 1,000 miles. Remain on the course. Remember that there are individuals who are around you whose only claim to fame is that they want to bring you down. Don't allow them to do that. Embrace the opposition. Remember that this is your dance. Let you not spoil it. And we will support you, and we will ensure that this country realizes our potential. Fellow Kenyans, I know that we are facing the Christmas. Don't drown yourself in revelry. Ensure that you preserve yourself for the year 2016 as we begin to build this nation in a manner that will protect her, preserve her as our motherland.
Wonderful. Well put, PLO. And gentlemen,
thank you.
Wish you happy
He
holidays.
hasn't become a grandfather yet.
Sooner rather than later.
Happy holidays, gentlemen. We'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Inshallah.
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 Right? Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best to you. See you in 2016. Let's keep this conversation
So
going.
let it be written.
So let it
So
be
let it be done.
done. Absolutely.
Thank you.
10 Commandments, I remember. What a pair. I tell you, the best political tag team on TV, no doubt. Dr. PLO Lumumba, who's now on Twitter. It's PLO Lumumba. That's his Twitter handle. And already he has more than 400, closing on 500 followers in the last 1 hour alone. Wow.
Yeah.
800. 800. Whoa. At this rate, you're going to overtake us in months. Well done, Dr. PLO.
Thank you.
And Barrack Mulaka, the man with Barrack with the 2 R's, the man from Emmanuel. Congratulations, Grandpa. At Barrack M. Mine. At Koinange Jeff. Hashtag keep tweeting. State of the Nation. Tomorrow night, you all remember Elimunjao, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Elimunjao, the legend.
The legend.
The legend.
Yes. Artist.
Paya Pa.
The man and the
I
legend.
remember.
Paya Pa just turned 50 years old.
Yeah.
The man is going to be on the bench tomorrow.
We wish.
Yeah. Payapa, roof. Of
Yeah,
the
roof.
Oh, roof of the roof.
Roof of the roof.
Top of the top.
Or the gazelle. The gazelle. That's
Hiyo paa
what.
pia tulikuwa na
Inapaa.
nani unga wa chapati na
Or
hiyo
your
paa
pa,
unaikumbuka?
your pa.
Okay.
Ya kupaa. in
Kuna
Kiswahili.
maana nyingi tu.
Kuna pa.
Okay, sawa. Paya Pa.
Kiswahili kinakukanganya kidogo tu.
Kisomo.
Kisomo. Kiendelee lakini.
Tomorrow night. And he's Tanzanian, by the way, huh? He's originally Tanzanian. I think it's Elimunjao.
Oh, well, he's Kenyan.
Ana Utanzania.
Lakini ni
What would
Mkenya.
Magufuli do?
Yeah.
Magufuli will do the right thing.
Yeah.
Amesema jipu la ufisadi lazima lilipuliwe.
Will that ever happen here?
Itafanyika.
Itafika.
Kwa
Itafika.
kushinikizwa tutalipua jipu hilo.
Itafika.
Yeah.
Jipu ni nini?
Jipu ni boil.
Oh,
boil.
yeah, okay. Thank you. Swali kilikuja na meli.
Hapana.
Ni Kizungu.
Ni lugha yetu.
Kizungu ndio imekuja na mengi.
Thanks so much for joining us. Keep
asante.
tweeting at it's PLO Lumumba, at Barrack M, at Koinange Jeff. Hashtag State of the Nation. Thanks so much for joining us. You can only find these kinds of guests right here on Kenya's television network, KTN. They are no doubt the best political tag team on TV. Thanks so much for joining us. See you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Good night. God, God bless.
KTN. Welcome home.
Our motto in Riera University is nurturing innovators. We have different learning methodology compared to other schools.
Registration is ongoing.
The following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general viewing.
The Bundesliga round 14 featured reunions, some real ball skills, and one really bored keeper. But Manuel Neuer was the only one bored. Fans of mighty Bayern liked what they saw against fourth-placed Hertha, maybe a bit too much.